Welcome back to the Bitcoin Economy Podcast. We have Clayton Menzel, head of BD at Babylon Labs, here with us. Clayton, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
So, Clayton, incredibly busy day. It's the first day that it's general public's in. Yesterday was industry day. You guys have a booth right at the front. It has to be exhausting, but it also has to be very exciting to see this amount of people, this amount of turnout. JD Vance spoke this morning. What are you guys looking to get out of this week?
A lot of things. I think we are at the forefront of Bitcoin utility on chain right now, which is good. So a lot of my past couple of days and next 2 days has been centered around high-level BD conversations for the most part. The amount of people here is super nice, but really what I care about is distribution outlets right now. Getting more activity on decentralized rails in the form of Bitcoin is really the core overall focus of Babylon in general. And those integrations result in people here being able to participate more at scale, right? I think the Bitcoin community is fairly conservative for a good reason. Also, a lot of people have not been super happy with anything they've done on centralized rails in the past, if you're looking at BlockFi or Celsius, for example. But I think the demand for yield on Bitcoin is never going to go away. And if you're walking around these booths right now, people use your Bitcoin for collateral to buy a house. They're all over the place. If you can do that on chain, and you don't even have to go through those issuers anymore, then I think that's a huge step change to the ultimate reason for holding the asset, right? Bitcoin's the most pristine collateral for crypto. How you make that a more secure collateral asset is really what we're focusing on beyond the staking functionality that we've already built. So
exactly what we've really been focusing and honing in on when we say the Bitcoin economy is we're talking about financial services and think about using collateral, using pristine assets like Bitcoin to back up all of these purchases and day-to-day life and expenses. When you guys are thinking about killer app, and that's what really all of decentralized finance has been seeking out. What's going to be the killer app that everyone adopts? How do you make decisions on, hey, this is what we want to do, or this is too far away from core Bitcoin?
Well, it depends on your position in the market, I think, right? If you're talking to a certain class of institution, they're earning 12 to 18% on Bitcoin already today. You need to be an accredited investor to participate in fund vehicles like that, but all of these trades are happening off-chain, right? So it's not that the thing doesn't exist. It's the fact that people can't actually get in. and the easiest way to allow people to get in is by putting those services on-chain. If you're looking at the amount of adoption of DEX activity for Ethereum or Solana or any other altcoin, for example, right? It's slowly going up in numbers, but because there's not an actual rail for Bitcoin activity that is Bitcoin secured, you're not seeing any of that becoming offered to a normal investor, so to speak. And you can argue that that's not bad, but I think that's dumb. The whole point of crypto is universal access for everything. The financialization of Bitcoin is happening right now. And unfortunately, most of that value is being accrued to people who have certain legal distinctions, et cetera. So if you can get those trades on chain, I think it really opens up the pool for broader financialization for everyone.
So where are you guys all located, or what countries can you serve? What jurisdictions can you serve? What should our users know that say, hey, I can interact with Babylon?
Yeah, so we're global. I live in New York normally. We have 5 people that live in New York. But we're a fairly global group. We got to start in San Francisco and the APAC region. But of our developer community now, our engineering team exists in APAC and Europe and the Middle East. A lot of the BD team, the new folks that have come on board have been based in America, just because that's like the easiest to like the broader, I think, and broader Bitcoin holder. There's so much Bitcoin that's held in America. A lot of that is unused right now. I good reason, right? Like people are waiting for a solution that makes sense for them. And Americans are much more conservative than the APAC region of like the crypto market. For better for worse, right? I mean, like out on like, sure, but you're all not going to be, stuck for some other things. But global, we're like 60 people at this point. But it's not just the Babylon Labs team as well. It's all of our LST issuers. It's people building applications. It's people like that want to connect to Bitcoin security as well. And then it's like integrating this there to the right. So like we have exchanges, wallets, custodians that are doing Bitcoin staking now through Babylon. We're about like 80% of the big TVL. We want to grow that, obviously. But at the same time, I think that we've designed the protocol. It makes it very, very accessible for everyone, right? Everyone's staked Ethereum at this point in time. Everyone stakes a lot at this point in time if they're like a broad participant. What we want to do, because like we've seen data points how easy that is to get people like involved in ecosystems, is like give that to Bitcoin holders, right? It's like there's minimal risk, there's this baseline reward. What you want to do beyond that, it's up to you. But like we're offering like risk-free risk, so to speak. But that's how you start to build these like financialization on, or like most financialization that's happening off-chain.
Yeah, we've talked to many of like centralized lenders and financial services providers, and it sounds like really for you guys and your job specifically in the BD side is building good partnerships that provide understanding, and then also educating people why bringing it on chain is important. And examples with Celsius Fi and others, big centralized entities that have failed, people have been hurt by it. And there's certainly on the side, there's been big hacks and things like that, but it's right. Like people are doing DeFi, and it comes down to who can the easiest user experience, but also safety. And so, what guys, what can we leave our users with to get them excited to check you guys out?
Yeah, so I mean, right, it's like in crypto are counterparty risk and exploits. And so things on chain solves the counterparty risk aspect to an extent. And then additional security solves the exploit stuff. So like I think that we're doing both of those things. What we're doing now, like our protocol has been live in full, like feature complete staking side since April 24th of this year. Our chain is what we plan to do is launch an EVM instance on that chain later this year, and then become this like hub for DeFi, and then also have that chain act as like kind of other to connect to that Bitcoin liquidity, and also like stablecoins and everything, right? Like an asset that is 63% of the market cap of like an entire industry. Like nobody got it, right? Like everything is like Bitcoin. You might as well build everything on top of Bitcoin. And so I think Bitcoin-backed stablecoins is like a very interesting use case. I think everything being used as like Bitcoin being used for collateral for anything, like whether it's lending, like your exchanges, whatever, is like a huge use to get on chain. But yeah, I like goal is to we work from the staking side. The goal is build more for our and then ultimately offer like more places for it to exist, like secure network, like shared security protocol.
Gotta read this part.
Oh yeah.
So Clayton, you're mentioning 63% of the market share is Bitcoin, and so they really everyone that's doing DeFi should be building on Bitcoin. And that's one takeaway I think is really good, because I think as Bitcoin DeFi has been very nascent, people need there's more content, people talking about it and exploring it, testing it, because really the collateral at the base of it should be underlying everything instead of just the US dollar. So like Bitcoin-backed stablecoins ties together both the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve and the Stablecoin Genius Act, which are both two things that like the Vice President this morning. So Clayton, excited that you stopped meeting you. What's next for you guys? Are you going to be at another conference this year? Like, where can we...
I'll be in France. But yeah, I mean, it's the amount of like use cases for Bitcoin happens not on decentralized rails right now is extreme. Right? Like, I mean, it's an asset in crypto. Unless you're a Coinbase shareholder or someone who's like invested in Binance or something, like no one is from that right now. Obviously, that's not a bad thing, right? Like centralized exchanges have a place in the industry. But like really, it's Bitcoin everyone. It should be for everyone, and everyone should benefit from all activity that happens from it. The same way, Uniswap and, all activity for their altcoins on a lot of their, dexes, etc. That's not the case for a Bitcoin holder right now. No one reaps the benefits of Bitcoin activity, like through Fidelity, BlackRock, etc. But it's not that they don't want to do it. It's just that like the rails are not in place for them to be able to do it. Obviously, like regulatory comes into play. As long as you have something that they can leverage once those things are allowed, then it becomes something to where like there's no hole between institutional and like idealist perspective on what the asset is. If everyone is like making money off it, then no one's gonna about anything. So yeah, everywhere we'll be can for ECC. We'll be in for Token 2049. Yeah.
We're on like the trip again to Singapore. Phenomenal time last year. Amazing event. And also like amazing culture just to see a very different side of it than like the U.S. market. Clayton from Babylon Labs, excited they came on, and we'll be seeing you soon.